Marco,
Sean, we're back in San
we,
Francisco.
we are back in San Francisco, live from New York, and and
Saturday
and
Night
and,
Live.
and somewhere in France.
Also as well in Nantes, yeah.
Yeah, and somewhere on our way to Las Vegas. Go figure. This is a hybrid
it's a
coverage that
it's a
we're doing
Frisco
right
to
now.
Vegas.
Well, I'm excited to. I was missing to go streaming. Like we've done so many live streams during RSA conference that I was kind of like, it's kind of boring here in my house. It was the mission control, but we connected with so many people there on the floor, and I'm looking forward to doing it again. But this is kind of like
With just me, it's boring. You have to have other
yeah,
people to make
I
it
know.
fun and
I
exciting.
know.
Yeah.
Well, after a few years, it gets boring. But no, I'm kidding. It's all exciting. I would say this is kind of a little bit of a tail hand of RSA conference and at the beginning of the Black Hat DEF CON coverage, which
Yep.
we are very, very excited again with a lot of plan. And
We have one
again,
more live stream episode coming from RSA. Uwer Dryhouse. He has some interesting perspectives on the market and fundraising and consolidation and some interesting insights that he captured while there for the week. So I'm interested to have that conversation with him, but we're not there yet. We're here today, Marco, with Philippe from CrowdSec. There he is. Say hi, Philippe.
Hey Sean, hi Marco. Glad to be back.
show
Good.
people that you're real. You're not some
Exactly.
kind of an avatar or anything like that.
No, I am all too real.
Well,
Very cool.
you made a lot of with your support as a sponsor for the coverage. You made what we did possible, and we thank you for that. And I know you've been head down, you and your team, really driving forward the work you're doing at CrowdSec. And yeah, I think we're going to leave RSA behind us for the moment and kind of look to the future a bit. We'll consider this a chats on the road to Black Hat and DEF CON, aka Hacker Summer Camp, which is coming up in August, where I believe you're going to have quite a contingent with you, Philippe. Big presence this year in Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, it's our first time off the European ground and on the US soil. So it's a meaningful step forward for us, and we are looking forward to meet our peers in the US and clients and partners. We have a lot of traction there. It should naturally be our first country in terms of adoption, but so far it's the second one. So yeah, we are here to make the odds normal again, and we get there with a team of 10 ambassadors from CrowdSec, people from CrowdSec, of the CTO, part of the tech team, the partnership responsible, and so on and so forth. So yeah, it's going to be massive for us.
Very cool. And because this is kind of like one of those quick catch up streaming live with you, we're not going to go into what CrowdSec is and what it does. For that, just a quick reminder, in our their story section, we already have a couple of conversation with you, and so people can dig into that. Right now, yeah, let's look at the future. What are you expecting from this from this first real in-person and hybrid, because we'll be sure to make this hybrid as well, presence here in the United States for CrowdSec?
Well, I'll be back in Vegas for the 8th time, so it's nothing new for me. I've been in Black Hat 20 years ago already. It was the first time. I really loved it. I like the format, and obviously DEF CON is a must-be place. It's totally screwed up. It's fantastic. I love it. Black Hat is slightly more
twisted for sure.
It's twisted. It's like it's as crazy as Vegas can be, but just made in a conference. It's I mean, if you guys never got there before, like try it and get addicted to it, because I barely know anyone that is back from DEF CON either not changed or totally crazy or smarter, whatever. Maybe in that order. But whatever. Black Hat is more business oriented, and we need to meet our peers in the US. Like really, it's time for us to get out of the European soil, discuss seriously business, and is there any better place in the US than the US to discuss business, Because you guys have this mindset, you know how it works. Well, I mean, Americans have this mindset, they know how it works. They know what is good to sell or not, what they want to buy, where you fit. They instantly see the categories you belong to instinctively. I've never met people like Americans that would have the same natural click with whatever is business. It's instinctive for them. It's brilliant. I love it, and it's really overdue for us.
I was going to make a joke, being we're born with a bottle and a checkbook or something, but that probably doesn't make any sense, or not even funny. So I'll retract that. I think what I want to focus on, Philippe, is kind of what some of the activities are. I think, if I remember correctly, before we started streaming, that you have some speaking sessions. I heard Arsenal in there, which is, I mean, Arsenal is an incredible thing. So can you share a little bit, tease us a little bit about what's going on speaking and Arsenal wise, and anything else that you think is?
Yeah. I mean, Arsenal. So first of all, we have a great click with the team of Arsenal. They are really cool people, and they like to push forward whatever they think is missing in the industry. So we are this kind of little company, a little startup. Well, not so little anymore, but and they give us visibility. I mean, we have demos and stuff. We can interact with the crowd directly. And Arsenal is a great place, actually. I mean, Arsenal is very, very underestimated, I think. It's a place where you meet a lot of new friendships and partnerships in the market. So really crazily important for us. And also it's so cool to see the others showing what they're doing, because it's really hands-on. It's like, it's anything hands-on. So if you want to hack a satellite or whatever, go to Arsenal. They will show you how to hack a satellite, basically. So we are not doing this, but it's cool for the people to get to know the product, and that's what we're doing there. There's a conference. I mean, we have a talk. I sit on stage as well, and we have a booth. We have a team of 10, and we have a lot of swag. One of them being really awesome. You know this quote of Las Vegas, like whatever happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas? Well, since we have a slightly different positioning, our quote on the T-shirts and stickers and stuff will be, whatever happens in Las Vegas will be shared, because it's what we do.
Nice.
That's going to make some people worry.
Yeah, especially the DEF CON crowd. Yeah, I think they're gonna be poking at you now, Philippe.
But
mind your booth.
But you know what, Sean? It's time has changed. I mean, let's face it. We have conversation with the villages every year, and I agree with Philippe. I mean, the first time I was at DEF CON, I was like, "Is this for real?" And it wasn't even. I can't even imagine one of the first when you were literally playing Spot the Fed. Now it's more about a collaboration with the Fed, right? It's the public and private industry and sector working together. So things are changed, but still very exciting.
That was a big point from RSA to bring that back, that there was a lot of certainly U.S. government, I think also international public sector presence at RSA this year. And it'd be interesting. I know that Black Hat, certainly, even DEF CON, have had federal employees and some. I mean, we followed lawmakers around at DEF CON through the villages, looking at things, and so it'll be interesting to see how much presence the public sector has and what those conversations sound and look like.
A lot. And by the way, if you're going to Black Hat, and this is from experience, and you have some exploits, or you are more on the offensive security side, remember to put wax under your screws or nail polish or whatever, because when your room is visited and the guy tried to tamper with your laptop, you will have trails. And it's nothing new, and it's a serious advice. Some friends of mine had surprises, right? So try to find something original that the feds wouldn't have in their pockets to protect the screws of your laptop.
Good advice. Good practical advice for sure. I was curious something as we were talking about what's going on, what's about to happen in the US. Your presence in Europe, it's quite different already. It's it's a large community. Just the fact that you're coming in with a team of 10 shows that it's not just you with a little flag. How do you just spread the word there? What kind of events have you been taking part? What is it working? What is not working in the whole continent out there?
What we find out in Europe, and I think it's replicable to US, is a bottom-up strategy is way better for a small company than a top-down approach. Because if you try to reach to a CISO, basically this guy is day in, day out harassed by every major software editor, vendor, appliance, whatever maker, and so on and so forth. So they have no time. I mean, you may be fitted in 5 minutes in the schedule in between Imperva and CrowdStrike, which are both good companies, but we're not playing the same game at all. So we don't go top down. Bottom up is better for us. We like to discuss with hands-on people, sysadmins, and people like this, and say, okay, guys, try it in the sandbox somewhere at home or in the company, right? Once you like it, tell your boss or your sub-boss, whomever it is, to eventually generalize the principle. And once you are comfortable with what the product is doing and how it's set up, maybe you want to go premium. That's fine by us. And if you don't, we don't care, because you're still partaking in the network and sharing signals. So it's extremely comfortable as a position for us to be an open source editor, not selling something. Actually, if you just use the product, you're making us stronger, not just us, the whole community. So it's worth it to get there and show ourselves and discuss with the whole villages and other people, attendant and so on. And we take with us people from Germany, from UK, from US as our ambassadors to show that we're actually in 160 countries, right? It's meaningful. And US has a huge part to play into this, a huge role, because it's the biggest clouds in the world. All the makers more or less are in the US or in Israel. So we really need to meet those guys and see what they like, what they dislike, what could be better, and so on. But yeah, that's why we need to put boots on the ground. Specifically, Black Hat is a place where we like and we know. And next year will be RSA, very likely. And we'll probably drop the European venues and European fairs we were doing before, because now it makes a bit less sense, at least in France. We'll go in Europe probably, but not more in France, I guess.
Go ahead, Marco.
No, I was catching what you said. Like, we'll talk about how it is and what could be better. And yeah. I want to ask you, so what could be better?
It's as a matter of fact, when the product starts to roll out on a large scale, you have very, very different use cases. And at some point, people are doing stuff, it's debatable that it's the right approach, but they use the product very happily and comfortably, and they generalized it without testing anything. And one guy yesterday came to us and saying, oh, I have a false positive already. Yeah, I got locked out of my Bastion and I cannot connect anymore to my customers' servers. I'm like, okay, what did trigger? Well, the scenario that is called HTTP, crawling, non-static, whatever. Okay, well, maybe check just in a learning mode so that it tells you what it would do, right? And if you think it's an error, you fine-tune it. Just don't go rogue into production like this. It's maybe risky. But then you realize, okay, our mission is to make it simple. So it's not on his end, actually. It's on our end. So getting this feedback is extremely precious, because this guy is like the other guy. He will have the same problem in the end. So anytime we cross someone in the industry, they tell us something new, and we integrate this in the roadmap on a different time scale depending on how important we think it is, or how demanded, how popular is this demand. So yeah, definitely. CrowdSec has always been built on listening to the crowd, listening to the users quite literally. So you can make a pull request, you can directly discuss with the team, you can crash on the Discord and say, I don't like that, or I want that, it's really important. And yeah, we'll test those ideas we have with the big names, actually. We go see Cloudflare, or go see, CrowdStrike, Microsoft, and all the big names, Imperva, and so on, and say, okay, we have those signals. Do you have them? Do you know this IP address? What do you know about them? Well, we do know something about them. And this is always good, because we are getting stronger by the day with this technique. We are not yet aggressively pursuing business. We are happy to sign contracts, not a problem. But we still have this headroom, where we have the freedom of just checking that the product is accurately responding a need.
And you use the word precious, and that word can be used in different ways. And it's important to point out that you as an organization are not being precious. And that you recognize the value of the data and the information from your your clients, that data and information is precious. And I think that's what makes this work, right? Is the fact that you provide a platform for organizations and individuals to come together and bring information that helps make the platform stronger, which then helps make their defenses stronger, right? Better decision making.
Yeah. You know MISP, the project MISP?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, of course, this one is a big name in the industry. And it's backed actually by the Luxembourg government. So it's an official, it's a country actually, backing the product. And we met with the head of this product, and he says, okay, we love what you're doing. And the fact that you give it away is even better. So we'll integrate natively in MISP next release, period. And it's something that would be extremely complicated if you're a provider that has a very aggressive marketing or monetization strategy around. But the fact that it's open source, instantly it bridges worlds, together. And if you have an investor that is smart enough to understand that actually the value of the company is its asset more than its monthly recurring revenue, you have a certain amount of time where you can explore this as much as you want, grow the network as much as you want, and as long as the KPIs are good, they won't be on your back. And at some point, you'll be okay. We go and monetize, and we know how to do it and why and where to put the limits in the sand so that nobody gets upset at it.
So I'm going to go back to Vegas. What does that week look like for you? What does success mean for you? The conversations at the technical level, conversations at the business level, peers, partners. What does that week look like?
Well, it starts first with a road trip for the founders. We need to regenerate. We need to be together. We need to discuss in the plains of Utah, Nevada, Colorado. So we have a long road trip going from Denver to Las Vegas. And we cross all these beautiful landscapes of Colorado. Then we go to Monument Valley, and things like that. So it could seem like nothing, but it's extremely important for the founders to be, current, all together, have this precious time after a victory, we hope, because we're in a fundraiser. So we will have our funds. We will be close to Vegas and the first foot in the US. So really important to have the mindset. Then we'll meet together with the team in Las Vegas. We invited the +1 as well. If they want to join, we invited our ambassadors. We will have a warm-up with them, visiting Vegas, doing crazy stuff like we do in Vegas. Needless to tell you what we'll do. You can imagine, like, shoot stuff and drink a lot, eat whatever.
You can eat, drink, smoke, and drive a car really fast.
While shooting and having
exactly.
a GPS with the voice of Monica Bellucci insulting you in Italian when you take the wrong turn. It's Vegas, for God's sake, right? We'll know what we are talking about here. And once we've done this, we will crash into the conference. So the first step would be for us to map the place and see the partners we want to discuss with. The people in the industry that are either very legitimate, we know them, and like Nico Iponen or these kind of names, and we need to mingle with and get more inspiration from them because they are really mentors to us somehow. And then we'll go to partners that can actually resell the product, because we are still here for business, right? In US, if you don't come for business, well, you don't come at all. You're not supposed to be there. So yeah, we'll discuss with the partners, and we'll obviously host a booth for all the attendees and potential customers that are curious or want to test the product or have demos and stuff like that. So in this order, already, like, see our peers, see also all these influencers like you guys. I know you won't be physically there, but a lot of them will be also. So we'll mingle together, have good time, with Dan, with Jenny, and all the people we've discussed with for 2 years already. So probably have a couple of drinks in cool places, and then we'll be ready for the big show and rock the place with a lot of sales and discussions and partnerships.
Wow. And I am only 5 hours drive away through the desert. So don't count me out yet.
Surprises happen.
Don't count me out. I may come and get that swag that you're talking about, and maybe, get a drink with you. We'll see.
I'm going to invite myself as the +1.
Yeah.
on that
Except
journey.
if you
to,
decide to drive now, it's not
it's a
the
longer
usual
drive for me,
drive that
for
we
sure.
do together. But
Beyond
well,
my
Philippe,
only regret, I have one regret. I have friends in the US, and one is doing astrophotography, crazy stuff. You can see in my bag there is a James Webb my mirror, and
yeah,
another
I
one is,
noticed that.
yeah, and the other one is Voyager 1, the disc, and 2, the disc, a golden disc.
Uh-huh.
So fan definitely, and I wanted to go do astrophotography in this desert place where it's pitch dark. There's very few places in the world where you can do this, and US is definitely one. And you know what? That precise week is full moon.
Oh, wow.
So,
Oh,
no astrophotography.
You just gave me another excuse. All right, cool. All right. Yeah, I love to go actually on Joshua Tree. That's it's one of my
yes.
favorite place, relatively close and kind of halfway there. Philippe,
Well,
it
you'll
was
have to come back special for that trip then, and we'll go take some
yeah,
shots together.
yeah, for sure.
Even if
But
not
this
fully.
was fun. I really enjoyed this conversation. Always great catching up with you, knowing about your plan. And again, hopefully we'll see you there. If not, we'll definitely see you on some kind of streaming again, like we're doing now. Distance is relative nowadays. Thank you again for your support for RSA Conference. Best of luck for you know what, Sean? When you call it Hacker Summer Camp,
Right.
I feel like a lot of do the younger generation know that that's how it used to be called, or do we need to do a podcast about that, about the whole origin of DEF CON and all of that?
That
It's
could be a
gonna
fun
give me
one.
an idea. I think
Yeah.
it'd be a good one, but not now. All right, we're getting ready for a lot of adventure coming up from Black Hat and DEF CON, either in presence or streaming all over the world, and we're very excited about it. So, Philippe, thank you so much.
Yes,
Say hi
always
to
good to see
everybody,
you.
to all the team.
My pleasure, guys.
The team,
Great
safe
job.
journey. See you in Vegas.
See you in Vegas.
See ya.